Hello and welcome back to the joinDOTA League Season 2. This is going to be the third game of Best of 3 between House of Gamers and Cleave. Last game was quite exhausting, went to about 70 minutes, so we had a little bit of break between now and this game is fairly delayed because of it. But either way, I'm GrandSV and I'll be joined by Mito today. How are you doing?
Yeah, pretty good. Really excited. This is the first time we're going to be casting together, and hopefully I'll be able to keep up with you. So could you just fill me in a little bit about like what happened in the past two games, perhaps from me as well as the viewers who have just tuned in?
Yeah, very well. Cleave in the first game were able to win it. It was, I don't know, a fairly normal game. Nothing too crazy happened. In fact, after last game, I really can't remember all that much as far as draft and big plays were concerned. But last game, House of Gamers had, I believe, they had the Meepo played by Maglev Gangtrain. And pretty much in the end, it was a 1v1 versus Cleave's Tinker. And that Meepo, they both got 6-slotted incredibly fast. And then it was pretty much just a 1-2 punch each time, or rather, back and forth, rather. Not 1-2 punch, but either way, that game went incredibly long, went to 70 minutes. And in the end, House of Gamers were able to come back after that first loss to Cleave. And now it's 1-1. What's on the line for this game is the winner goes on further in the tournament for a chance to go into the Division 1 of European, and the loser stays in Division 2 for next season of JDL. So a lot on the line for this game for both of these teams, and yeah, it should be a good game.
Wow, I can't believe I missed out Tinker versus Meepo. Oh man, that sounds like a really fun matchup to watch, especially when they're both 6-slotted. So hopefully this game is going to be just as great, but looking at the bans and picks right now, it feels like every single game that I've casted with Coucher recently, it feels like every single time the bans and picks have been completely different. So I'm loving it. The current patch, just the versatility and each team having their own individual unique styles. It's what makes Dota such a cool game as of now.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed this current patch, and well, House of Gamers really favor their Ancient Apparitions, so no big surprises picking that up in the first stage of picks for them, and also both teams being very deliberate about their picks. Both of them have already eaten in their bonus time, just recognizing how incredibly important the draft is to both of these teams. Cleave are going to get their hands on the Tidehunter first, though. A very solid offlaner that offers a lot of teamfight potential just with that Ravage, and also can catch up if he does get behind a little bit with some Ancient stacking on the Radiant side, but this Tidehunter should have a decent time in his lane.
Yeah, and Tide isn't. He's not really too worried about the Ancient Apparition all that much. Having that Kraken shell just allows him to deal so nicely in the offlane scenarios. But House of Gamers, this is a fairly standard setup as well. The Centaur setting up for the Ancient Apparition, like you throw the Ice Blast, Centaur grabs a blink. Once the Ice Blast gets in position in the General of Vicinity, then Centaur blinks in. 1-2 punch. That should be a quick, easy kill.
Yeah, definitely.
On most supports, yeah.
Gives them a lot of global ganking potential, and always a threat when the Centaur is missing off of the map once he has that Blink Dagger available.
Finally, I got my Twitch to work, and so I can watch our own stream now.
Very good.
Reserve time.
I'm pretty sure this was the first 2 picks from House of Gamers last game as well, so sticking with what works.
Oh yeah, and Ancient Apparition come in conjunction with Meepo, that's pretty darn scary. I mean, the Chilling Touch on each individual Meepo just increases their damage output by a significant amount. So hopefully this time I'll get to see a Meepo game for myself.
I'm not sure if Cleave are going to leave that in the second stage. It was very scary for them to deal with, and so far they don't really have a good way of killing Meepo with these first 2 picks, Shadow Demon and Tidehunter.
Radiance ban.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see a respect ban coming out from Cleave to take the Meepo out of the game.
No. Well, I like Shadow Demon regardless. It's a great hero. Whether you want to initiate or you want to just protect one of your teammates. Perhaps if Centaur blinks in, initiates on someone, and then an easy disruption saves him. But it's hard to say. I mean, anything can happen with the next 3 picks. So, I mean, you've seen their style. You know exactly how they want to execute the drafts. What do you think, apart from the Meepo, what does Cleave or House of Gamers need to ban out in the second ban phase?
Well, I think that House of Gamers are probably going to take out the Mirana after the Meepo ban from Cleave. Just because you don't want to give away the Shadow Demon Mirana combination. It's just so strong and something that a lot of people are very comfortable with running. So I think that'll be pretty much a no-brainer as far as the next ban. Other than that, I'm not really sure. Cleave can pretty much do anything they want with these first 2 picks. Very versatile in what you can do in a draft with Shadow Demon and Tidehunter. don't really give a lot away as to what their plan is for this game.
Dire's ban. Dire's pick.
Are you still there? Well, it looks like I've lost my co-caster for now, so I'll just continue talking about the draft. Hopefully you'll be able to reconnect before too long, and if you're there, just give a shout to make sure that I know you're reconnected in the call. Looks like we are going. So it looks like I am back with Mito. And, well, the next couple bans are going to be the Tree Protector Mirana taken out from House of Gamers and Disruptor taken out by Cleave, but that's going to leave the Brewmaster in the pool for House of Gamers. Something that they didn't run the first two times, but is a very scary pick. Just offers you so much team fight control and pretty much forces whatever Cleave are picking up for the carry to build an early BKB.
Well, I'm back, but I don't know what's happening inside the game. So, like, the last thing I heard was you talking about Mirana, and that most likely was going to get removed from the pool because of how nice it works in conjunction with the Shadow Demon. But what's your opinion of like the Mirana nerf, or is it even considered a nerf? I mean, the damage scales completely linearly now. Like, if you shoot a point blank arrow, it literally does nothing.
Yeah,
a mini stun, minimum damage.
It changes how you used to be able to combo them around. You used to be able to leap into a Starfall and then a point-blank arrow to get kills. Now you really can't do that. You have to go for the long-range arrows. But other than that, Mirana as a hero is still strong, and I don't think the nerfs really affected her that much. Teams might shy away from her in the future, but she's just such a versatile pick. I think she'll be still pretty staple in the meta.
Dire's pick.
Right now, I can't reconnect, so I'm just going to restart my Dota 2, and hopefully it'll get things going for me. It's a little
Hopefully.
awkward.
Well, it was a Rubik pickup from Cleave against the Brewmaster from House of Gamers. If you get your hands onto that ultimate and you have some good micro on your Rubik, it pretty much becomes another Brewmaster for yourself. So a decent pickup for Cleave, but still, these first three heroes really don't offer very much in the way of damage. Tidehunter with his Anchor Smash does a decent amount, Fade Bolt from the Rubik, but nothing really big. A lot of teamfight control so far from them.
Wow, so Brewmaster, Shadow Demon, Tidehunter, that's like pretty much a perfect setup for a Rubik. You've got everything to steal. You can take the Ravage, you can take the Panorama Brewmaster's ultimate. I mean, it's just easy things for him to steal. So, and it works really nicely with the Ancient Apparition as well. Rubik's
Rubik's on the other team of the Ancient Apparition and on the same team with the Tidehunter. But
okay.
yeah.
It's all good. I'm back in the game now, so...
Okay, cool.
Oh, man. Witch Doctor. That's something else I love. We just saw a game of Witch Doctor, even though it didn't quite work out, but... Man, whenever Witch Doctor gets an Aghanim upgrade, I always get an adrenaline rush. I just want to see the Death Wall go down, having it bounce around, and then just dishing out tons and tons of physical damage.
Dire's ban.
Yeah, definitely. The combo with the Shadow Demon is going to be the Slark, so a lot of setup for that pounce, but other than that, I'm not sure if they're really going to have that much killing potential up against the Centaur. Centaur is on the Dire side, so is going to have a little bit harder time in lane. But I think Centaur should be able to at least get his
10
levels.
seconds to go.
Maybe Cleave decide to go aggressive, though, and leave the Tidehunter solo against the
5
Centaur.
seconds.
I think it really depends on what House of Gamers pick up for this last pick, however.
Yeah, but they have so many things they can go for. They might just need a big carry that can deal with the slog as well. They have the frontline tankers. They have Brewmaster, they have Centaur, and they have supports, Witch Doctor as well as Ancient Apparition, both with extremely long-range right-click powers. So I feel like House of Gamers, they can perhaps even sit back, grab an extremely late-game carry, maybe a Spectre perhaps?
Spectre against Shadow Demon is questionable.
Yeah.
But at the same
It does
time,
suck quite a bit.
yeah, it could be an option and would give them more
10
global
seconds to
presence and
go.
still could work out for them. But maybe you shy away from the Radiance.
5 seconds.
Oh, yeah, I mean, sure, Shadow Demon can use a disruption against Spectre, but at the same time, just having that power to chase down pretty much everyone on the map, and then it stops Tidehunter from being able to use that blink to initiate. Okay, so they're going to go for the
Radiance
fairly
ban.
common counter towards Slark, grabbing up the Bloodseeker.
Yeah, this mid game is going to be very scary from House of Gamers. I think Slark's pretty much just going to be forced to build the BKB first, and once he does, he's going to have a hard time snowballing. I don't know, I think, yeah, Cleave need to get off to a very good start, and even in the early laning stage, I think House of Gamers are pretty much set.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there completely. It looks... House of Gamers, the lineup just looks really complete. They have the team fight, they have the small skirmishes, they have good ganking potentials, but the only setback I would say is that late game isn't that strong, but in comparison to Cleave, it still looks really good. might just be lacking a little bit in terms of tower pushing. But if you're getting kills, it doesn't really matter because you get kills and essentially that translates into a free tower.
Yeah, so Cleave have 10 seconds to think about this
seconds
last
to
pickup
go.
for them. Where do you think they're going to lane this Lark and Ursa pickup from Cleave? Not something that I was really anticipating. Where do you think this Ursa fits into their lineup?
Wow, Ursa. Well, I've seen a couple of offlane Ursas, but generally it's been on the dire side because level 3 you can just directly dive into the Ancients, buy a Morbid Mask, and then after you take some Ancients, you can just go and sneak a Roche. But on the Radiant side, I'm not too sure.
Oh, yeah,
I'm trying to figure out.
Ursa was not one of the heroes that I was even thinking about. I was thinking maybe they put the Slark mid and maybe pick up something like a Luna or just get something else for the mid lane, but an interesting pickup from the Cleave, and I don't know, pretty excited to see how it works out in this game. I'll go ahead and introduce the Radiant team as we do have a little bit of pause to start things off. It is going to be Cleave on the Radiant side, Lilac going to be playing the Ursa, and he's been going in the mid lane, so I think we have a mid Ursa up against the Brewmaster, and I think he lanes decently well against Brewmaster, but I guess we'll get into that a little bit later. Roger going to be playing the Shadow Demon, Seema the Slayer on the Slark, and Ziko on the Tidehunter, and, well, Siniko of Laputa on the Rubik.
Okay, sweet. So on the dire side, we have key planes for the Ancient Apparition support. Maglev Gangtrain gonna be on the Bloodseeker. Stand-in, the Rocket Man is gonna be playing on the Witch Doctor. We're gonna have Mango Banana playing on the Centaur, and finally we have M4 Mephlem playing as the Panda and Brewmaster.
Yeah, very well. So how do you think Ursa matches up against the Brewmaster? I think both of them are just going to farm and spam out the waves with their Clap and Earthshock, respectively. Yeah, Earthshock.
I would still give Brewmaster a bit of an upper hand, just because one level into the Drunken Haze, and you feel like, hey, Ursa's not going to be able to do any right-click. As well as later on in the team fights, it feels like if Brewmaster ever just Cyclones the Ursa, it's going to dispel his Fury Swipe, right? So, or just keep him up in the air.
Yeah, I think so. Like, even if it doesn't dispel the Fury Swipes, just keeping him out of the team fight and not having any uptime on your auto attacks is going to pretty much completely shut down this Ursa. And, I don't know, I think Cleave are going to run into the problem that if they don't go for BKB, they're not going to be able to initiate into fights. They won't have, like, a Shadow Blade on the Slark or early Blink Dagger up on the Ursa if they go for BKB first. And even if they go for it later, I don't know, I still think HoG have plenty to deal with that.
Yeah, HoG, it just feels like their lineup can do everything. It's just, but it's very mid-game centric. The focus is on the mid-game. They need to get things done. If they just allow Cleave to free farm away into the late game, I feel like House of Gamers might run into some trouble.
Yep, if you do get like the BKB Abyssal Blade on your Ursa with a Blink Dagger on top, he'll be able to jump in, get an easy kill on maybe the Bloodseeker or something. And, well, if Cleave are able to have Roshan control, that's another thing that'll keep them in this game. And, yeah, definitely. As this goes later, Cleave might be able to get an advantage if they're able to get those core items online.
Yeah, but there is a little bit of a worry for me for Cleave, though. I mean, you look at it, if they initiate, their main damage output is, like, physical. You look at Slog and you look at Ursa, and when they get in close, then Witch Doctor throws an easy paralyzing cast, and then drops a Death Ward. That's gonna... I feel like the Witch Doctor is going to be a big factor in this game in terms of shutting down the damage output from Cleave.
Yeah, you also have the Centaur ultimate to kite around the Cleave melee carries. And, yeah, I don't know, we're going to have an early smoke coming out from HoG, probably just to secure control over the enemy's jungle, and it looks like they might decide to go aggressive up against this Ursa.
Oh, wow. It feels like Cleave, they were the ones that's like, yeah, we got to take the fight to them, and they go for aggressive trialing of their own. Or is it, do you think it's, are they dodging House of Gamers, or what's going on? I'm actually
not sure.
somewhat confused.
I'm not sure you leave the Ursa solo. I think you put the Slark solo if you're going to dodge.
30 seconds.
I think the
to
Slark
showtime.
has better potential to stay alive in that lane. So I'm not sure. I think they're just straight up going aggressive. I'm not sure what it's really going to accomplish, though.
Wow, this is pretty rough. But if it's a Centaur against Ursa, then I would say Ursa would do relatively well, if not, like, just completely outfarm the Centaur.
Yeah. If you just get an early Orb of Venom with those boots online, Ursa can completely harass the Centaur out of lane.
And here we go.
Yeah. And a mid-slug against Panda, this is something interesting. I don't know how that's going to go.
I think
Are you going to make any predictions?
I think
for this one.
Panda is preferred in that lane. pretty much for the same reasons he is against the Ursa, shutting him down with the Drunken Haze maybe a little bit, and also just having to walk into range of the Thunderclap is always an issue for melee heroes, but I don't think the Brewmaster will be able to get a kill on the Slark until level 6.
Yeah, I highly doubt it. Even at level 6, it feels like Slark can always just turn on the Shadow Dance and just walk away.
Yeah.
Wow. So it seems like it's going to be dual lanes, as a matter of fact.
Well, let's see. Yeah, Ancient Apparition with the Bloodseeker really can't get any kills, and I think the Ancient Apparition is just going to be pulling for them. With the Tidehunter and these two supports, Rubik and Shadow Demon, I'm not sure they can get the kill on the Bloodseeker either. I don't know. Maybe if they get the wraparound here, we have the Rubik. It looks like he's going to throw out the lift. A couple of auto attacks start things off, and with the Gush minus armor, it looks like Maglev Gang Train is going to fall in this top lane, and they will have enough damage. Rubik cleans up the first blood in this top lane, so good start for Cleave.
Oh yeah, I mean, just hiding in the trees, that was pretty effective. And now it seems like they want to contest the pull cam, but it's already cleared. Down on bottom though, Ursa is going to get zoned out. So that's a bit of a worry, because you do expect the Ursa to be your main damage output during the mid game, but if he's getting shut down, I just don't quite see where the damage is going to come from.
Yeah, Ursa really needs to get an advantage. I think, well, if Cleave are able to win a fight in the mid game, come like 10 minutes, then they'll be able to take Roshan extremely fast with the Ursa, so maybe that's something to keep in mind as we transition later. But as for now, I don't know, I think Cleave are doing okay. Their Tidehunter is actually not farming very well in this top lane, and if it weren't for that early kill, I'd say that HoG are looking very good. In fact, they are going to rotate the supports, looking for this kill on the Brewmaster in the mid. Rubik as well as Roger are smoked up and looking for a wraparound.
Yeah, and the Slug is trying to pull the creep wave so that like his own creeps will go into tower, it'll get cleared faster, and pull it back to the point where the supports can actually come in and disrupt the Pandaren Brewmaster. But it seems like there's an Invis picked up from the Rubik.
Well, at least for now, they're standing by, waiting for Brewmaster to come a little bit more forward. No, I don't know. Mountain's playing fairly far back, and, well, they're going to start it with the lift from the Rubik. Pounce to follow up. Shadow Demon is there. Don't think he's really going to offer much except for right clicks. And Malum's decently tanky. They will disrupt him up to try to get into a better position, but they're just going to back off and let the Brewmaster bottle back up and stay in lane.
Well, that would have been a big kill because, I mean, just being able to shut down the Brewmaster, delay his primal split, and delay his blink dagger. Well, bottom. Wow, Ursa gets picked off. I caught the end of it. I don't know if
same.
you did.
I didn't actually see. I just saw like the double-edged blood on the ground that used to be an Ursa. Well, it looks like they just had a good cast from the Witch Doctor as the creep wave was dying, or at least caught him out with that one, and just so much damage coming out from the Centaur.
Well, I'm glad at least we didn't miss the first blood.
Yeah, very
Missing
well.
first blood just really sucks.
Yeah, Rubik going for the wraparound on Centaur. He's really not doing all that much, and I don't think they'll be able to get this kill, especially with Ursa having to walk back to the lane. No TP scroll available for him.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it feels like the two supports coming out from Cleave, they don't offer very much. They always need someone else to be able to get the work done.
Up in top, Tidehunter taking a lot of damage from the Chilling Touch. Will he be able to make it out? They only need one more auto attack, and Maglev Gang Train is running decently fast, and with the slow coming up from the Icy Vortex, they'll be able to get that kill. So Tidehunter going to die in this top lane, and any advantage that Cleave got with that first blood is, I don't know, pretty much being given away. I don't know, Bloodseeker hasn't been farming very well up against this Tide, so I'd still say that Cleave are decently happy with how this top lane has been going, but, well, I don't know.
Wow, so, but finally, I like what Cleave has done. They've rotated pretty much through all three lanes, put a little pressure here and there, but ultimately they know they need to put the focus on the Ursa, and getting farm on this Ursa is just so essential to them. But it's a little odd for me that Tidehunter will be dying at top up against Ancient Apparition and the Bloodseeker, because there's actually nothing to lock him in place. So
Yeah, well, Maglev Gang Train was getting very low. He ate a couple of anchor smashes, and Tidehunter thought he could go for the kill there, but then the Ancient Apparition came around, and Bloodseeker killed a couple of creeps and was back at decent health and was able to turn that around. So a little bit of overcommitment coming out from the Tide.
wow, that sucks for sure. And looking at it in terms of last hits, it seems like everything just going the way of House of Gamers. Three out of 4 of the top last hit denies. It's all from House of Gamers. Only Slug seems to be able to keep on par with him.
Well, and even that, Malum is still at
Bottom.
even farm. Whoa, bottom lane. They're trying to get this kill on Mango Banana. Will they be able to secure him off? One more auto attack from the Shadow Demon. Sure will, and that's 2-2 on the board, tying things up. Ursa falling very low. Not sure what that last tick of damage was. That a Malefice from the Witch Doctor? And yeah, it was with the level 2. Almost got the kill on the Ursa. He's going to go ahead and try to jungle. I don't know.
And
Look
at
is
top, that's a tower dive as well. Nope. Wow. So, but that was a lot of harassment onto the Tidehunter once again. I didn't expect this combination between Bloodseeker and Ancient Apparition to be so potent.
Rubik down in bottom gets a double edge to the face, and Mango Banana going to be able to secure that kill. Actually, Witch Doctor gets the last hit with one more auto attack, but yeah, I think with all these heroes so low on that side, Maglev Gank Train has been able to do a little bit more damage to the, well, we have a Slark diving on the Ancient Apparition behind the tier 1 tower, and Key's going to fall with the boots online for the Slark, and I don't think they're available for the Ancient Apparition. It was a fairly easy kill for him, so good rotation coming out from Seema the Slayer.
My goodness, there's action everywhere on the map. And once again, Slug.
Up and doubling, they're going to get the bounce onto Maglev Gank Train with the extra minus armor coming out from the Gush. They might be able to get this kill. Oh no, Maglev Gank Train is walking decently fast with one Thirst stack, and they might be able to turn this around. I don't think so. But Maglev Gank Train is hanging around at fairly low HP. Will they be able to get him? Lift back, and now the pounce is going to be on the mark, and they'll be able to blow him up with an Anchor Smash. Tidehunter gets the last hit. Even the Slayer going to eat a little harass from the tower, but no way Key is going to be able to secure that one.
Wow, the kills are just spread so far across the map. Like, sometimes it's at bottom, sometimes it's at top. And it's like, oh, it's hard to keep up.
Yeah, definitely. Last game, the early game was very quiet, and then there was like an incredibly explosive mid game, and then it just dragged on forever. A little refreshing to see a little bit more action. Haste Rune on the Ursa, that's a very scary bear, but Brewmaster will be able to back off. Ancient Apparition up in top lane, he's going to be pounced on, and well, there's our next kill, going to be in top lane instead of on mid, and they're trying to turn this around. Seema the Slayer falling very low, and with the extra movement speed, Bloodseeker trying to get this kill. Seema the Slayer pops the ultimate, pounces in the trees, he doesn't have a TP available, or doesn't have enough mana, and they're trying to eat through it. They get the vision. Oh, will they be able to secure this kill? Primal Spit being thrown. They're going to throw a boulder into the woods, and that cancels the TP. Very well played there, and they should be able to secure this kill, or maybe even worse, just leave him there. Well, Seema Slayer
man.
going to die the death of 1,000 cuts, just those Brewlings plinking away at him.
Oh man, I don't know if you managed to see our previous game as well. That was 30 seconds in the game, we've already had 7 kills on the board.
Mid tower could use a little help.
Yeah, I mean, games today are just wild and crazy, and I'm loving it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, in top lane, they do have 3 heroes from the Radiant
Dive
team,
mid-tower
Shadow
7.
Demon and Tidehunter, sitting behind the Rubik, and we might have some more action. Well, Shadow Demon not going to throw out the disruption, not going to find the range. Just going to drop a ward. They might be able to catch out Key, still no boots onto him. He might be in a little bit of trouble.
In a mid.
Yeah. Well, they're going to get the clap off onto the Ursa and with the Maledict. I believe that was what got the last tick there, but yeah, very aggressive Witch Doctor build paying off for him in this game.
Yeah, it feels like this is starting to become a trend again. I mean, in the old days, you have people maxing out Maledict first, and then now it seems like Paralyze and Cast. But just not too long ago, it seems like everyone just wanted the Voodoo Restoration. But once again, Maledict, it shows its power.
Where was that pounce? Oh, it was just on the bottom lane to get away from the Centaur. Never mind. Well, on
No,
top,
he's
they're
going
going to
for
get
the
a lift
Centaur.
onto the Ancient Apparition. Key's just going to explode to the nuke damage coming out from the Anchor Smash. And I believe he was Soul Catchered up as well, and that's a level 2 Soul Catcher. So that's like, oh yeah, 30% extra damage. Yeah, Ancient Apparition didn't stand a chance. And Tier 1 Tower going to take some decent damage as well.
It's so funny. It feels like both sides just have really nice damage amplification. On House of Gamers, they've got the Maledict, and then on Cleave, they've got the Soul Catcher.
Rubik has Rupture.
Oh man,
See if
this
they're
is a
going to
big
make this
steal.
kill. Yeah, Megaloth Gank Train's just going to stay in the woods. No reason for him to come out here. If he shows his face to try to help this tower, he's going to rupture up the Tidehunter. Now they're TPing in droves. We do have Pink and Green trying to come in, and now he's below half health. They should be able to clean that up with the double edge. The Centaur Warner, they will be able to. So Rubik not going to be able to put that rupture to good use in the top lane.
Wow, Tidehunter just completely gave up right there. I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna get away.
Well, what can you do? If you run, you're taking rupture damage, and then Maglev Gank Train chases you down. If you stand in place, you die anyway. So I think just staying there and allowing his supports to retreat out was probably the better option. So either way,
He might have had the time to TP. Maybe. I don't know.
maybe. Oh no, they were TPing in with
Centaur.
Centaur. Yeah. Centaur would have been able to get the hoof stomp off.
But could SD potentially could have gone in place to disrupt the Tidehunter?
Through the dire
I don't know.
structures for
Too
now.
much speculation. And at bottom, oh my goodness. Too much action.
Yeah.
So hard to keep up.
Centaur has managed to find himself a 9.5-minute blink dagger already with so many kills going around the map. He really hasn't been sitting in lane all that much. Well, actually, he has 47 last hits, so last hitting very well in the bottom lane.
Wow. It's
In
quite
mid.
scary how they still manage.
Oh, they're looking for a disruption coming out from Roger, but it looks like the Brewmaster is going to be able to make it out. And Brewmaster actually went for a Midas. I hate this, honestly. And now what did Rubik steal? He gets the Thunderclap and an Invisibility Rune to boot, but I don't know. What do you feel about Midas on Brewmaster? Getting to level 16 is nice. Well, here we have a Centaur ultimate up on top, maybe? Trying to keep the Ancient Apparition safe. There was no leash to keep him in place, so they'll be able to back off, but I don't know.
You've pretty much said my thoughts already. I personally really don't like Midas on Brewmaster. It's just not a necessity. Plus, like, you want the Brewmaster to be able to initiate. You want him to be able to jump in and then, like, do what he does. Like, stun up a hero, cyclone another, and then just create havoc. I mean, they have all the follow-up, so why not? Just
in the jungle, they're going to be able to get a lift on Maglev Gangtrain. It's being followed up by the Pounce, and they'll be able to blow up the Bloodseeker off of that nice Invisibility Rune scouting coming out from the Rubik. Yeah.
Wow, this combo is just doing work. Like, lift into a Pounce guarantees easy kills. And it feels like with the... Wow, they want to go
on mid. The Soul Catcher is going to latch. They don't have follow-up, however, Ursa did back off. Yeah, I don't know. The positive side for getting the Midas on the Brewmaster is a very fast level 16 ultimate, so... Also a faster Aghanim Scepter after the Blink, I guess, but it does delay the Blink Dagger, and with the way this game is going, I think just having the Blink to be able to fight now would be more beneficial for him.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you go in for the fights, you create the space for Centaur. Well, actually, Centaur has a Blink as well. But just imagine having the power of that double initiation from Brewmaster and Centaur, just jumping in and just, like, cutting in from the back lines. And if you can take out Rubik and SD fast, then I don't see anything that Cleave can do to bring the fight back.
Yeah, well, we do have a rotation down to bottom from the Witch Doctor, and well, Slark falling, just a creeps, that was just a Dark Pact. Well, a little bit hype for nothing. Let's see. Down at bottom, they're going to get the lift onto the Centaur. He's stolen the Hoof Stomp, but it's going to completely whiff by the Rubik, so not going to be able to get the Centaur kill, and he's looking for more. Has the Blink Dagger coming off of cooldown in 3 seconds, as well as the Hoof Stomp. Well, because by that Shadow Poison, and maybe he's looking for more. Blinks forward onto Roger, and Roger gets blown up. Double Edge with the Hoof Stomp, and one more auto attack was all it took to get the kill in the SD.
Oh man, at top.
Well, they're going to throw the Ravage and catches up Maglev Gangtrain as well as D-Rocketman. D-Rocketman might be in a little bit of trouble. Looks like they're going to back off. Casca's going to bounce only once to the Tidehunters, so not having good RNG there. But either way, losing the Bloodseeker for Ravage, definitely worth it. And I think that was the first Ravage use?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the first one that comes to mind. Pretty much.
Well, Centaur fighting up against the Rubik. Rubik's low on mana and can't really go for that. Oh, right as I look away, Slark is going to get a kill on the Witch Doctor up in top lane, pouncing behind the tower.
I'm just gonna make a bold prediction right here. I feel this Midas on
Blink forward for the
Brewmaster.
Yeah, Centaur just picked off the Rubik in the bottom lane.
Oh my god.
Okay,
How
well,
to
as
keep
you were
up.
saying.
Well, I think this Midas on Brewmaster is gonna come back and haunt him. Because he's essentially giving more space for Cleave's core heroes to catch up and farm. Look at Slug, wow, not too far from the Shadow Blade.
Yeah,
And
well, on the positive side for Brewmaster, he has enough money to buy the Blink Dagger now. So that's positive for him. I don't know, this Ursa, he's rocking the double orbs right now. Needs to get rid of one of them or finish up the Vladimir's offering.
Well, I think he has the money for flats already. Let's see. Bessie... Yeah, pretty much.
He has the money. Is he saving up for Blink Dagger, though?
Has to be. I don't see any other reason why you have 1700 gold and not complete the flats. And it's also slightly harder because he's on the Radiant side. He can't just go in and sneak the Roche. And if you look at Ancient Apparition, he's constantly checking with the Ice Vortex as well to guarantee like the Roche isn't being sneaked.
Oh, we have a Centaur ultimate. They're going up on top. Maglev Gangtrain has the Rupture on him, but he's going to be able to survive here. I think the Silence not going to do enough damage on him. And he'll just heal up with a couple of creeps there. I don't know. So apparently Orb of Venom stacks with the lifesteal, or at least it appears to be that way. Like Scotty. I didn't actually know that, but I guess you learn something new every day.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't know that either. I thought... No. Doesn't matter. He's getting jumped.
Yeah. Well, with the Blink Dagger, Malum going to go into the river, and Ursa in the middle lane. Yeah, that's what you were talking about. There we go. On the back lines, he is going to pop the ultimate, trying to chase down this Rubik. He needs to use the Windwalk on the Earth Panda, or Wind Panda, and try to catch a Rubik, but he juked through the woods. He's trying to TP out. He should be able to cancel this. He needs to throw out the Boulder or the Tornado. He needed the Tornado there. The Boulder would have been too long of an animation, but Rubik going to be able to TP out there, so pretty much a wasted Brewmaster ultimate there.
Wow, that was a pretty big blunder. Huge miss micro.
Yeah.
I mean, Rubik right now, what does he have? Oh, it's only a Thunderclap. But imagine what would have happened if he got the Primal Split on the Rubik. Then that would have been devastating.
Yeah, well,
at top, once again.
Well, they're going to get the pounce onto Maglev Gang Train. He's going to throw the silence out to the Tidehunter. Is it going to matter, though? He has slowed up both of them with the Brewmaster blinking in. Ancient Apparition Ultimate not going to land, and, well, Slark might be in a bit of a pickle here. Doesn't have the ultimate available. Will be able to pounce away now. Sending the Shadow Blade out to himself on the Courier, bottling up. He might be able to turn this onto Malum. He's chasing fairly deep. Doesn't have any support inbound, however. We'll just pounce through the trees. Has a Shadow Blade, and, well, no other heroes on the Radiant side going to be in the vicinity.
This is scary. Look at bottom. Mango Banana is just waiting to jump on this Rubik. Maybe an Ancient Apparition Ice Blast on the way. And Roshan is getting destroyed by the Ursa as well.
They have vision of this with the Ancient Apparition. He just needs to get out of there. Lola can't stay in that pit for very much longer. He doesn't have any backup. Ancient Apparition Ultimate going down to bottom. It looks like they're going to jump the Rubik. Ancient Apparition Ultimate not going to land. Center Ultimate deployed. He's going to blink in. I'm not even sure if he needs the AA Ultimate to land. He's trying to get this kill on the Rubik, but they're TPing in. They're going to be able to lift up. Ursa's just going to go to work on Mango Banana. A nice turn of events for them. Good TP in and good reactions from the Rubik.
In mid, we have a Shadow Blade slot going on this Ancient Apparition.
Oh, he didn't stand a chance. The cask will bounce back and forth to the Slark, and now with the ultimate coming out from the Witch Doctor, no, the Shadow Dance will keep the Slark alive. Oh, unfortunate for the Witch Doctor, they had that off of a cooldown.
I didn't even know when the Cleave actually get some stacks going. Because Tidehunter's clearing it, but too much things happening on the map. Didn't even realize it.
Yep. Well, he's going to be working towards that mechanism, and with this stack, he's going to have it completed.
Wow. Hold on 1 second.
Okay, that's fine. In the meantime, the teams are going to back off and farm a little bit, especially Cleave. Slark.
1 second, 1 second. This AA Ice
Guess
Blast.
what's happening to
Oh, they're dodging it.
Tower.
Nope. Looks like Rubik might die here. Oh, so close. That last tick. Wow, barely survives.
Yep, well, I guess that's one benefit of having less HP. You don't tick down as
Radiant's
fast.
mid tower could use a hand.
Or,
That's
wait,
true.
no. Yeah. Well, let's see.
Radiant's mid
A
tower.
little bit of lull in action as teams are starting to group up and trying to take down some of these objectives. Roshan, it's a fairly tense situation for the Dire. They're constantly putting the Ice Vortex in the pit to make sure that Ursa isn't going in there. With the Blink Dagger, it can sneak it fairly effectively, but I don't know, this Ursa, well, we're going to have a pause.
Wow, finally some time to breathe and relax and figure out what's going on in the map. Gold graph, XP graph, it's very minimal, but it's both are slightly in favor of Cleave. Feels like I'm not liking House of Gamers' chances dragging this longer. I feel like they need to start putting pressures on towers and just making things happen. Yeah, and that's what they're grouped up to do at bottom.
Yep, well, Cleave are spread out decently. We do have a TP scroll on the Tidehunter as well as the Shadow Demon. So they will be able to get back in bottom. And now with the Shadow Blade, excuse me, Slark looking to scout some of these supports out, but he's not going to find him. Very aggressive play coming out from Seema the Slayer here. He's not going to be able to find anybody. They might be able to catch out Lolik here. He's spotted behind the trees. They ping him out. He will be able to blink away to safety, however. And now they're TPing in droves. Centaur looking for the stop, not going to find it. He's lifted up by the Rubik, and now Lolik going for more damage onto him. The Tidehunter ultimate going to catch out 4, I believe. Maledict going to be completely off the mark. Here comes the Brewmaster split, however, and it looks like he wants to focus down the Lolik with the Witch Doctor ultimate off of cooldown yet again. They're going to be able to get that kill. And well, where's the action coming out? They've cycloned up the Tidehunter, but everybody on the Dire side is so low. And now Seema the Slayer is going to start cleaning house. Maglev Gang Train going to be in a little bit of trouble. The ultimate pop by the Slark just for the extra chasing power, and with the Orb of Venom, we'll be able to chase down the Bloodseeker. 4 down on that on the side of the Dire, and now they're looking for more. Brewmaster has rejoined himself, has been disrupted up by the Shadow Demon, and well, they're looking for more. Tidehunter hasn't spent his gold just yet, doesn't have a Blink Dagger to be able to blink Gush, and Brewmaster will be able to make it out of there. And well, HoG, they got the Ursa, but didn't really feel worth it. 2 for 4, I believe, in the end.
Yeah, and if you look at Slog's stats, he has 8 kill, 1 death, and 3 assists, and we're 18 minutes in the game. This Slog is definitely going to get really, really fat. And I don't know if House of Gamers is going to have what it takes to deal with him later on. Or actually even right now.
Yep. Well, let's see. Ursa hasn't really progressed as far as items are concerned. Tidehunter gave up the Mechanism Dream. Looks like it was just a casual Ring of Health. Decided for the Blink Dagger instead.
Radiant's mid tower's coming apart.
Wow, I thought this
Centaur
Ursa
ultimate.
isn't...
Yep.
I don't even have time to talk. That was just so freaking fast.
Yeah, with the pounce and then Ursa whacking on the poor Centaur there, he was dropped very quickly.
Yeah, right now, all the cores are starting to move around, rotate on the map. I don't know Tidehunter, he saved up so much gold, but decides to finally get that Blink Dagger. I don't know. Maybe he was contemplating on maybe. I don't know what else he could have potentially gotten. A mech?
Rubik managed to find
Mech would've
himself.
been nice.
Oh yeah, mech would have been good. But he was sitting on that gold for quite some time if he wanted the mechanism. Rubik actually found himself a Blink Dagger, and now we have a smoke coming out from the Radiant team looking for some blood in this top lane. They're not going to find it, however. All of the heroes from HoG aren't anywhere close. 3 in the bottom lane, 1 in base, and 1 heading towards the bottom lane. So it looks like they're just going to put some pressure on this tier 2 tower and maybe look to find a pick-off in the jungle, which they won't be able to find.
Yeah, Slug is just... I mean, his passive is so OP. You can use it to scout out every single ward in the game, and you'll know if there are any opponents nearby. I mean, it's crazy what the Shadow Dance passive offers you.
Yep, and he's been doing a good job of making sure that his HP doesn't drop below half, so he's able to keep that extra regen throughout the game. Rubik was fairly aggressive down in the bottom lane up against all these heroes from HoG, but was able to blink away, so it looks like we're just going to have a little bit of a tower trade here. Maybe they're going to force them back to this tier 2, and, well, they're going to TP down the Rubik towards the bottom lane. Maybe throws a Fade Bolt, but that's very scary to do. They'll be able to blink in. Looks like they're going to try to defend this tier 2 tower from the top lane while finishing off the tier 1 in the bottom. I think HoG will be able to do this. Well, let's see. Center ultimate deployed. Blinking from the Ursa, not going to catch anybody out. Ancient Apparition ultimate is flying through. It's a very long one, and will catch out Lolik. Mostly he's trying to TP out. Will they be able to get a stomp? They don't have it available, and they won't be able to cancel out TP or burst him down in time. Everybody on Cleave is alive. Bloodseeker on the backline is falling very low. Rubik, well, is he able to get this kill? Tidehunter is going to throw out the gush, and he will drop to the Ancient Apparition, or rather shatter to the Ancient Apparition ultimate debuff. And now they're going to get the pounce on the key, and Slark going to be able to blow him up. Tier 1 tower in the bottom lane is sure to fall next, and 2 heroes dead on the side of HoG.
Man, so this, I mean, this always happens to me. Every time I predict a lineup is going to do better, it feels like they always do the complete opposite. I was expecting House of Gamers to be dominant throughout the early portions to mid-game, but in this case, I feel like they've just given Cleave too many opportunities to go get some pickoffs. Like, House of Gamers, they should be focused on that 5-man team fight, but by the time they took that team fight, it feels like Cleave was already capable of dealing with it and even turning it around, as we saw in that bottom fight early.
Yeah, it's pretty much on the back of the Cleave supports. Roger as well as Nico of Laputa were able to rotate around and pretty much make all of their lanes go better than I'd anticipated.
Yeah, so it was very nice rotations.
Well, blink forward onto Roger as I'm speaking about him, going to eat a double edge, and now the body block should come out. They rupture him even, and we'll be able to secure that kill. Now Tidehunter going to throw out the Ravage with the Anchor Smash. Mango Banana going to fall very quickly, and Magla Gang Train also going to die. Wishwalker ultimate is doing some decent damage to the Tidehunter. Now the Brewmaster splits coming out. They're trying to catch this kill on the Tidehunter with the Maledict. They probably will be able to get this one. Well, let's see. He's juking around the Immolation Ore. Should be able to clean up this kill. He throws out his magic stick charges and is going to survive for now and eventually will die. But still, 2 for 3. I'm not sure who got the tower last hit and all of that. They're going to throw the Slark up in the air. He should be able to pounce away. And in the meantime, Ursa's been doing Roshan. And Rubik finds himself the Brewmaster Primal Split.
Man, I feel like right now for me the MVP has been this Rubik. He's been getting so many big spells. He's gotten Ice Blast, Rupture, Primal Split in that last fight. And he just doing so much work. It's incredible.
And suddenly, it's always 23 minutes Scotty on Seema the Slayer.
Oh man, dear God. What are they gonna do towards the Slug? You can get the entire team to focus on him, and he might not even die.
Yeah, they might be able to control him a little bit with the Brewmaster ultimate, but even then, like, if he times off the Dark Pact well enough, he should be just fine.
Ursa isn't even a focus. It feels like Ursa, all he does is throw out the fire towards him, and then just creating that space, the environment for the Slug to do all the necessary damage.
Yeah, well, Ursa is going to pick himself a Force Staff, a very interesting item choice. Will allow him to have more uptime on auto attacks. Looks like we're going to have Initiation. Blinking from the Rubik, going to throw out the Primal Split. As it was stolen, they're going to be able to get Mango Banana now. Micro coming out from the Rubik. Will it be enough? He's trying to find the stun. It's not going to be thrown out. The cask will delay things for now. Seema the Slayer is going to be stunned by the cask as well. Will bounce to him once, but HoG are completely bottled up in the base. This tier 2 tower should fall very quickly.
Yeah, and Brewmaster, he's coming in from the behind. He's going to have his Primal Split in about 18 seconds, and he has an Agnum Scepter. So are they going to be able to make something out of it? I think this might be the key for them. They have to come back right here, right now. They drag it any longer, it feels like the chances are just slipping away.
Yeah, well, Brewmaster sitting on top of the haste rune will pick it up, and they will lose the tier 2 tower without any contention except for those 2 kills earlier. And, well, it looks like they're going to save the Brewmaster split either for another Tier 2 or maybe for the high ground push. Seaman the Slayer, he's sitting in the Shadow Blade looking for Magla Cane Trade. He's going to get the first auto attack. Now the blink in from the Ursa. They're going to be able to get the Bloodseeker very quickly. Now Brewmaster has thrown out the split, but it's a little too late. Will they actually be able to do much with this? They've thrown Slark up in the air. They've stunned up the Ursa. Trying to focus down Lulik, but he's just regenerating so much by attacking those Brewlings. HF Version Blast is going to be good and will land on the Rubik, but he steals the Ice Vortex. Well, not the ultimate that he was looking for, but Mango Banana is going to fall. That's 3 dead on the side of HoG. Tidehunter still sitting up in the air. They lose the Aegis on the Ursa, but that's pretty much the only casualty of war so far. Now they're looking for the Brewmaster on the backlines. He's being chased by the creeps, trying to TP out. Looks like he'll be able to make it, not wanting to throw away the Ravage for that.
Radiant's top towers.
Well, it feels like at this stage, Cleave, they can easily go for the high ground. There's nothing stopping them. 3 heroes are dead from House of Gamers. The only saving grace is that the heroes are lower level, so they respawn really fast.
Dire's mid towers have
No, when
Things
that's
are looking rough.
Yeah, when that's your advantage, you know you're in a bad spot. Let's see. Rubik going to steal the Primal Split yet again. So MVP for the Rubik. Let's see. He could probably just pop it and zone out the rest of the Dire team while they focused on the racks, to be honest. Rupture will be thrown the way of the Rubik. Won't be able to get off that ultimate. He will be disrupted up, however, blinking from Malum. Now the Ravage is going to land on 3. Tidehunter is going to throw out the Anchor Smash as well, and Malum's going to fall very quickly. Bloodseeker is running decently fast, should be able to make it back out. But GG called out by Key. No big surprises. They're on the backlines. They're going to be able to get one more kill on Mango Banana before the Ancient falls. Let's see if they'll be able to finish this off. One more swipe from the Ursa. They'll be able to get it. Tidehunter gets that. So that's the end of the game. A very refreshing game after that 70-minute game 2. Thank you for casting with a Mito. Let's see. Other than that, make sure to follow this channel, Heflatv 2, as well as Heflatv 1, to follow the Heflatv channels. Also, Heflamoke, or those are the 3 English channels, rather. You can find me at twitch.tv/GrandisV, also on Twitter at GrandisV, and where can they find you, Mito?
Well, I guess wherever you are, I'm gonna be around as well. So hopefully I just be bouncing around between you and Kocha and a couple of other guys, I suppose.
Well, it was a pleasure to cast. A good third game. That'll be all for now on this channel, I believe. I'll leave it up a little bit longer, and we'll have some ads running. So stay tuned if you want to support the Heflatv channel, but that'll be it for casting for today. So thank you for watching.